All right, what's up, everybody? I am Jake, and this is the review of week number 1, which is technically the pre-week. In this video, we're just going to go over all the days, kind of gather the information that we learned in this week. All right, so let's jump into the screen here. Started with pre-training, day number 1. So I'm kind of going to go ahead and go through each video and like give you the key points that I got from it. Everyone keys in on different things, and that's just how it is. If you guys have already gone through this challenge and you see this video and you either disagree or you want to add something to what maybe I didn't say or didn't mention or maybe just didn't catch, comment down below. Subscribe while you're at it. I probably watched all the videos 2 to 3 times, unless I just didn't think they brought me any value at all. To be honest, there was a couple of them. I don't suffer in the belief category, so maybe that's why I kind of look down on this type of week a little bit. I don't need the belief week. I know this stuff works. Let's go ahead and recap the previous week, the pre-training week. In day number 1, Russell's video. This is the one where he explains the ClickFunnels framework. He does also key in on the fact that you need to trust him and the coaches, and that'll increase the benefits you'll get out of it. And then he does go over quickly about hook, story, and offer, which we are going to hear a lot about in this training. But yeah, that's really it. It's just an introduction video, really. Steve actually goes over the rules for the One Funnel Away challenge. I'm not going to go over those because I already went over them in the day 1 video. So if you want to check that out and kind of rehash a little bit, then you can go ahead and click the card up top. I'll have it linked. And then Jim Edwards, he just explains what copy is, and he does kind of make a subtle sell for funnel scripts. I've noticed he kind of slips that in quite a few different areas. I really hope he is not trying to just sell his product and actually is going to teach us some copy. So far throughout the weeks, or throughout the first week, he's really only had one video worth watching. I mean, I think I've mentioned that before, and I think it was day 5. The video he did actually teach in was fantastic, though. We'll go over that here in a bit. Day 2 is all about failure. Now, the first video for Russell, in my opinion, is completely pointless. There's no reason to have this video in here. I don't know why they put it way down here. They should put it up here. This video is literally him just telling you to go watch that video, and that he got emotional in the video. That is all he says in this video. Now, Steven's call. In this video, he actually just mentioned that he learns by teaching, and I can completely understand that because that is exactly how I learn. That's actually one of the big motivating factors of this channel right here. So, completely understand you, Steve. When you teach something to someone else, he's talking about the learn for 2 in the video, where you learn something and then you immediately go and try to teach it to someone else, and it seals it in your mind, and it really does. I learn it, and then I write it, and then I say it out loud, and then I try to teach it to somebody, and that's how I learn. And once I do that, I never forget it at that point. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to get out of these videos here, is I want to seal the knowledge in, and we'll be doing a lot of videos on stuff that I'm learning for that simple fact. So you guys are going to get to learn just because I'm trying to learn. Works out, right? But yeah, he does talk a little bit about overcoming failures. He tells a lot of his own personal stories. He is really motivational in this video. This is actually one of my favorite videos on week 1 so far. Very motivational. He tells his own story, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go check out Steve Larson on his social media. This is the video that's pretty much told me I was creating funnels and everything in the complete opposite way. He actually says they're going to teach us the opposite. They're going to teach us how to sell first. Then they're going to teach us how to create the offer. And then they're going to teach us how to build the funnel last, which is the easiest part. I actually agree with that. It is. Jim Edwards down here basically said there is no such thing as perfect copy. God, I hope he's right, because I can never get anywhere near perfect. I'm lucky to get halfway decent. It's just how I am. Maybe I should get funnel scripts. But yeah, he basically says there's 3 types of copy. There's good, there's better, and there's best. Good copy is your first draft. Just get a first draft of your copy done, and that's a good copy because you're already better than 90% of the other people that never even get that far. So I never thought about it that way, but that's actually very true. The better copy is just after you've made some improvements. It's, not your first draft anymore. You've gotten your first draft. You've tweaked it to where a lot of people are liking it, and then you start testing it. And then your best copy is where after you're done split testing everything and you're a clear winner in those split tests, that's your best copy. The only thing that matters in copy, which he says in this video, is if it sells. That's it. Nothing else matters. Now the funnel hacking live one funnel away talk is Russell Brunson basically talking about all of his failures along the way to creating ClickFunnels. It's very interesting. You hear a lot of stories from Russell that you've never heard before. But no, it's a great video. He does kind of break down a little bit in there, and that's actually what he was talking about in this first video here. On to day number 3, who, not the how. Russell Brunson in this video, he's basically just trying to say, don't try to do everything. An entrepreneur is a contractor, not a jack of all trades. Basically, it's better and faster to find the who in the business that can do what you need instead of trying to learn it yourself and trying to work through basically that procrastination stage. Not only will the job usually be done better when you hire it out, it will be done faster, and you won't have to waste time learning something you don't necessarily need to learn. This is actually where I suffered a lot in the past. I struggled a lot with the who, not how thing. I was always scared to hire people. I still don't do it very often. On the bright side, I basically know how to do a little bit of everything, so there's that. There's some good things to being a jack of all trades. And we jump down to Jim Edwards' video. Yeah, I didn't like this video. He basically says over and over, you can outsource your copy, but you shouldn't outsource your copy. I agree with the second part of that. I don't think you should outsource your copy. That's how you become better. You write copy, you fix it, you figure out if it works. If it works, great. Then you try to improve it from there. Now, he did mention something, though. If you do happen to outsource your copy, you still need to know enough about copy to figure out if it's good or not. If it's make sure it's not absolute garbage that you just paid for. You also need to know how to edit and tweak it to make it better, and then you need to learn how to test it. I'm assuming by that he means like ads. Main thing about outsourcing your copy is it should be fast. So if you hire somebody for copy and you're waiting 2 weeks to get it back, then there's pretty much 0 point in hiring the guy for copy. So move on to either someone else or just do it yourself. Then we got Steven's call here. He explains how having a team can speed things up while still keeping the quality. He basically goes into how he prioritizes things. He uses pretty much a brain dump. He throws everything at a whiteboard, and then he goes over right next to everything with a green and a red marker and puts green dots on, basically big green dots on anything that generates big revenue, anything that's major revenue source. He'll put a big green dot by it. Anything that's a minor revenue source that will kind of boost revenue or has a chance to boost revenue gets a regular small green dot. Everything else gets a red dot. And then he goes on to say, do not do red dots pretty much ever. At least not during this challenge. Focus on the big green dots. If you have time, get some of the little green dots in there. or hire your who's to do the green dots and the red dots. I think that's kind of how he tied that whole priority list into the who, not how day. But yeah, that was day 3. So let's jump over to day 4. Here's another pointless video, in my opinion. Russell here is literally just explaining. He's not even explaining anything. He's just telling you to go watch the 10 times video. That's it. The 10x video. He does mention that you can buy the offer that they offer in the video. It's like $3,000. Steven Larson, he talks about the perfect webinar script and how you pretty much use it for everything to sell anything. But yeah, that's all he's saying is pay attention to the script Russell's using in the 10x video. Is Jim Edwards. This is probably his, I would say this is his best video. Really the only one worth watching as of right now. But yeah, basically in this video, he's going over keyword research and kind of how to like prepare to write your copy. This is pretty much homework you should do for every business you're trying to do. Basically, you're going to go in there, try to find keywords, go into Google, search for keywords and phrases. I'm assuming what he means by phrases is like long tail keywords. So if your keywords like golfers, your long tail keywords or your phrases would be like, or how to learn to golf like a pro or something like that. That's your phrases. And then he has you go over and find the desires and the payoffs. I actually like these. This is pretty interesting how he came up with this one. Basically, what you want to be thinking in your head with the desires and the payoffs after you list them is kind of a little sentence he gave you is, I want to desire so I can pay off. I want to blank so I can blank. And you just kind of substitute in with that. I mean, that right there would give you very easy ways. So if you have a list of desires and a list of payoffs, you just match them together and then put them into that sentence structure, and you got a little sentence for your copy. All right, and then the next thing he tells you to concentrate on are the problems and the roadblocks. And yes, they are different things. A problem is something you solve. Now, this isn't how he worded it, by the way. This is just my kind of what I think of when I hear roadblocks and problems. This is kind of me. But basically, a problem to me is something you can solve, where a roadblock is probably something you have to work around. And that's more or less what he kind of explained. He used different words, obviously. And then another thing he wants you to look out for is just questions. When you type in your keyword, what questions are popping up, what questions might you have, what questions do other people have, and your answers to those questions are not only going to help you with your copy, it's also going to help you with your content. But yeah, that's the first video. And then he has another video down here where he basically gives you the sales copy big picture research wizard to use, which is really cool. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do this, but it didn't say anywhere that I couldn't, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to provide the link to the Sales Copy Big Picture Research Wizard down in the description, so go check that out. It's not a special link or anything. I'm not going to hide anything, so just click on it, check it out, and yeah. It's pretty fun to mess around with, so it does pop up some really weird questions, especially in our niche, which is like hair bows. So it's like, it's funny to look at the questions and try to answer the questions, I guess. I mean, because our target market would be basically parents. So, so I think one of the questions was, what wakes parents up in the middle of the night with cold sweats? Well, a lot of things, unfortunately. Kids running away, kid peeing in their bed, somebody breaking in the house, a whole lot of stuff that have nothing to do with hair bows. So when we put in our keywords and printed out the sheet, it was actually really funny. It didn't help us much, but I can see where it would help in other niches. On to day 5, belief. All right, now I did not like day 5. Actually, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Now the 10 times video, or the 10x video from the day before, it did offer the $3,000 pack, and they did mention in multiple areas in these videos that you do not need these to be successful, and the reason you're watching the video isn't necessarily to sell that product. It's so you can see the perfect webinar in action. But today, on the day 5, once again, another pointless video by Russell, by the way. He's just saying, hey, go check out the Lady Boss videos, and if you want to buy the package offered in there, see where I'm going with this? You can. So absolutely no value in that video whatsoever. But anyways, in the Lady Boss video, it is pretty much the exact same presentation as the 10x video. Only difference is the stories. That's it. So, yeah, she even uses a lot of the same examples. It seemed to me like a downsell from the day before, and the fact that they did them day after day, like, I get it. You want us to watch the presentation and how they're doing the perfect webinar script, but it seemed a little pushy for the whole spend $3,000 thing. It's just my opinion, of course. But yeah, the Lady Boss one would, in my opinion, be pretty much a downsell from the day before, because they offer a $2,000 package. And then we jump down to Steve Larson's video. I'm not even going to cover the Lady Boss video. If you want to watch that, then I can link it somewhere. Just mention it in the comments, and I'll post a link in the comments. Not a big deal, if that's something you guys want to watch. Steve Larson is pretty much explaining what marketing is in this video. He says, I actually have never heard this, by the way, this exact definition. He says, marketing is breaking beliefs with the intent to sell. I like that. But yeah, he says you need to learn 3 things: marketing, sales, and offer. 3 different things. So marketing is the breaking of beliefs with the intent to sell. Sales is presenting the offer and overcoming objections. I think most of us knew that one. Offer is giving logical reasons to buy now. Giving logical reasons to buy now. I never thought of it that way. When I think of offer, I'm thinking, okay, so what's the total sum package of what we're selling? That's I don't know why, that's always how I thought of an offer. Now, he does touch a little bit on, he basically explains what buyer's remorse is and what causes it. I'm not going to go over that, because in the end, it doesn't really matter. It's going to happen. People that spend money are always going to have buyer's remorse. That's just how it is. Welcome to sales. Welcome to buying anything. I mean, how many times have you bought something, especially expensive items, and the next day you're like sick to your stomach? When you are trying to sell someone, you go through 3 stages. The 3 beliefs you have to break or make them believe, and it goes in this order as well. Number 1 is you need to make sure they know that it is possible. So you use stories to convey that it is possible. So you want them to be thinking, as you're up there talking in your perfect webinar script, that, hey, yeah, this is possible. Number 2, can I do it? So you tell another story that explains how easy it is to do, and that they can do it themselves and they can emulate it. And then, so they're now thinking that, yes, it's possible, and that, hey, yeah, I can do that. And then number 3 is, do I have what I need? Do I have the resources to do this? And then once you get all 3 of those beliefs broken, and they're saying, yeah, it is possible, I can do it, and I have what I need, boom, you're done. You got your sales. You've done your job. And that's it. That's pretty much what he goes over. Jim Edwards. Jim. Now, this, to be fair, day 5 is about belief, and that is exactly what he goes over. I don't know. I didn't like it. It's pointless. No value added. On came the ketchup day. Yes. I needed this day. Day number 6, the only video that was here was Jim Edwards. And okay, I lied. This was actually a pretty decent video too. Once again, he did try to sell funnel scripts, I think twice in this video. He is dropping nuggets of information, nuggets of quality information. It's just, if I'm in a course to learn how to do something, I don't want to have to try and pick up your nuggets and put them in the right order to be able to do what you're supposed to be teaching me. So far, I'm not impressed with his OFA copy hacks. I mean, he is giving quality information. He's just not actually teaching the fundamentals of copy. Or maybe it's like Russell says, and it's like the Karate Kid, where he's teaching us to wax on and wax off, and I'm just not seeing it yet, because that was actually something I forgot to mention in his first video. He goes over that. So if that's because maybe I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing what he is trying to teach me yet, but he is teaching me. So I hope that's the case. I really do, because copy is where I really suffer. And that's something I really wanted to learn. But anyways, he's just going over his 10 biggest mistakes with copy, or his 10 lethal mistakes is what he calls it in the video multiple times. All right, mistake number 1 is not having a headline. He says you need a headline on absolutely everything. That's fair. I like that one. Number 2, talking about only features. Oh, this is probably the number 1 in my opinion. I can't tell you how many websites I've been to, especially e-commerce and, oh god, drop shippers. They're so bad about this. They only talk about the features. Nobody cares about the features. Look at Amazon if you want features. Hell, go to AliExpress. Look at their product descriptions. Like, it's telling you that it's like there's tungsten in it, and like, completely, nobody cares what it's made of. They care what it does. So yeah, I number 2 is great. That should be number 1. So number 1, not having a headline. Number 2, talking about only features. Number 3, talking about yourself and not them. It's good to tell your story, but you need to relate that story towards your customer. So that makes sense. I like that. If you talk about only yourself, you seem full of it. And it's like, okay, why am I here if you're all you need? At least that's how I looked at it. Number 4, no clear reason to buy. So I'm assuming he means by this explaining the benefits of the product you're trying to sell. Explain why they should buy it. Number 5, no clear call to action. All call to actions should be clear, 100%. Like this one. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, subscribe down below. And like it too. That wasn't very clear, that like one at the end. See where it kind of got iffy? That was a terrible example. I'm leaving that in there though. Alright, number 6. Trying to write your sales copy from scratch. This is actually where he talks about funnel scripts, how you should just buy funnel scripts so you don't have to worry about writing sales copy from scratch. That's great, but, you know, sorry, Jim, I don't have $800 to drop on funnel scripts right now. But yeah, trying to write your sales copy from scratch. Now, that being said, he did provide quite a few sheets, and if you did do the homework you were supposed to be doing, this shouldn't be a problem anyways. Like, all that data you've been gathering in your keyword research and in that little questionnaire thing he had you print out, that should give you pretty good footing on your sales copy. Number 7, not having any type of hook or curiosity, or if it's a video, a scroll stopper. That's pretty self-explanatory. Curiosity sells. Curiosity gets clicks. Actually, that's a good one. I like that. Curiosity gets clicks. You want an opt-in page, put some curiosity in there. You want to have webinar signups, put some curiosity in there. Make them wonder what it's about, what they're going to get. Put some mystery behind it. Number 8, wishy-washy positioning. Be direct. Go back to the thing I just did where I told you to subscribe and then like also kind of maybe like the video. That's what he's talking about. That's not direct enough. You need to be direct. So subscribe below and hit the like button. That was kind of direct, but I kind of like looked down, so it was like, eh. I'm not very good at it either. I'm learning too, you know. All right. Number 9, no clear offer of what they get. Now this one's actually kind of confusing because number 10 is no offer stack or summary. So what I think he means is 9, no clear offer of what they get. Basically what he's saying is when you're doing your offer stack, as you're going down before the summary, you would be explaining what they get in that offer. Say you have 5 things you're giving away, you know, item number 1, and then you talk about that item. Then item number 2, you talk about that item, describe it, and then so on and so forth. So that's number 9. Just lay out what everything they get, every little thing they get in the offer. And then number 10 is no offer stack or summary at the end. That I think he means like the bullet points with the value next to it, and then bullet points value, bullet points value, bullet points value, and then the total value, and then the actual price of it there at the end. That was that video. It was actually pretty good. I liked it. He did mention something in there. He was just talking. I don't think he even meant to mention it, but I wrote it down anyways because I liked it. He said that people buy to solve problems and to satisfy desires. Truest words I've ever heard. I love that. People buy to solve problems and satisfy desires. Remember that desires list you came out with? Looking pretty useful there. All right. Day number 7. Yeah, this is rest day number 2. The only difference between this one and the last one, the catch-up day, is Jim Edwards here. He's just saying, hey, catch up on all your stuff. That's it. That is the first week in a nutshell. I think I'm losing my voice here. So that's it. We finished the first week. Got a whole bunch of notes and learned some stuff. This video is way too long. Jesus. Sorry, everyone. I know nobody's going to see this because nobody's going to stick around this video this long. But if you are here, I appreciate you. But my final thoughts on the whole thing is basically the first week is all about belief, and it's not necessarily what I was here for anyways. So I think if you're starting from scratch and you've never really done any kind of business before, I could see how the belief week would be necessary. Overall, I thought there were probably 3 or 4 videos of actual quality content and that I actually enjoyed watching and seeing. Beyond that, it seemed like a lot of fluff, a lot of rah-rah, believe in yourself type crap, and you know, I don't personally need that. I just want to get down to the nitty-gritty, to be honest, and learn the stuff I'm going to be using. But that's just my particular point of view. That doesn't mean that you're going to think that if you happen to go into this or are doing this at the same time as me. So, yeah, that's the summary for week number 1. We are starting week number 2. And this is where it's actually supposed to be. They're actually supposed to be teaching this week and starting in on the strategies and stuff. So this is what I've been looking forward to. But yeah, that's it. All right, week 1 is over, and I will see you all tomorrow for day number 1 of week number 2. See ya.